Dave here in the Northern New to You Speakers workshop demo area. I referenced this couple of speakers on my previous What's in the Workshop video, and I thought it would make an interesting story. So let's get into it. So here we have the Realistic Optimus-1. These are both Radio Shack speakers from the late 60s, early 70s. And this is the Realistic Nova 7, not the 7B. There's two different versions. And I purchased these at two different estate sales about a week apart in the area here. And when I went to start digging into them, first thing I did was I took the covers off. And of course, the Nova 7s have the lattice work, beautiful lattice work covers. This is the wood lattice too. 7Bs had a plastic lattice. And the Optimus has a simple cloth. But when I opened them up, I looked at them and I thought, well, they're identical. The tweeter and mid and woofer look to be all the same drivers. They have the same configuration. Yeah, the box is slightly different. This one's a little narrower and taller, but I thought, well, the volume's the same. They just repackaged the same design, but it isn't the same design. They're very different, shockingly different, actually. So that's what this video will be about. We'll dig into that, show you the differences. The Optimus 1s are in really good shape. The only thing I'm going to do is a little Howard's Restor-a finish on the cases. I will probably recap them. And on the Nova 7s, we have a little more work to do here. The cloth surround needs to be redoped, and I have the material to do that. So I think we'll show that in this video as well. Show that process, and may show the recap, and there'll be recapping to do on that as well. So let's dig into it and see what these differences really are. This should have been another clue that the two speakers are different. Again, they've got the Optimus 1 on the left, Nova 7 on the right, and you can see the binding binding post area is slightly different. Here on the Optimus 1, we have a normal, low, high compensation switch, RCA input, and the positive and negative binding post. Over here on the Nova 7s, we have a slightly different configuration. So we have a separate adjustment for mid and high. So that should have been a clue, but it didn't strike me right away. And by the way, I'm going to show this while we're back here. The guy who purchased these brand new on May 14th in 1973 went to at his address there. No, he doesn't live there anymore. I did check. This is them right here. He paid $50 a piece for two of them for a total of $100. And you got some other miscellaneous stuff. I didn't look up what those are, probably cables. All right, I pulled all the screws, plucked out the mid and tweeters, loosened up the woofer. So let's see what we've got here. So we'll start with the Nova 7. And if we tip that up, we see we have a woofer, 8 ohms, a 2501 capital B little b, made in Japan. Over here on the Optimus 1, let's take a look at that. Lo and behold, we have a woofer, 8 ohms, 2501 capital B little b. So nice cast aluminum frame. So we're off to a good start in terms of better understanding here. Let's move in a little closer and we'll take a look at these other drivers. So starting with the Nova 7, we have marked as mid-range 4 ohms 0710 capital A little a. And on the Optimus-1, we have tweeter 16 ohms 0705 capital A little a. And that's when I realized, and I looked at the wire colors, blue, black, and over here we have blue, black, but here we have black, white. So, and I thought, well, that's different. And of course, the clue was back on the crossover on the binding, the different adjustments. I should have known that something was going to be different about them. So back to the Nova 7. Here we have tweeter 4 ohms 0705 capital A little c. And over here we have tweeter 16 ohms 0705 capital A little a. So we basically have a two-way system on the Optimus 1s. And here we have a three-way system on the Nova 7s. And once you think about it a little bit more, and especially when you get this view, let's go down inside the boxes and take a more detailed look at the crossover. That's when the difference is really going to show. Pull the woofers out, and I have already removed all the insulation here. So let's go down inside here. All right, this is the Nova 7. There's the two adjustment pots. We've got 2 inductors and 3 caps on the Nova 7. And over here, let me get a little more light so you can see in there. Very different system. 1, 2, 3 resistors, 1 inductor, 1 cap. So quite a bit different. And of course, we've got the different ratings on the tweeters, 16 ohm versus 4 ohm. And that makes sense that these would be 16 ohms because of how they're wired. So let's keep going, and let's take a look at the crossovers in a little more detail. So I just wrote down what we have here. On the Nova 7, we have 3 capacitors, a 4750, a 3.350, and a 1525. We've got a tweeter that's 4 ohms, 0705 AC, mid-range 4 ohms, 0710 AA, woofer 8 ohms, 2501 BB. On the Optimus 1, which we know was purchased in 1973, we have a tweeter times 2. We've got 2 tweeters, 16 ohms, 0705 AA, woofer 8 ohms, 2501 BB, and the cap that's in there is 33 microfarads, 35 volts. And I thought, well, I need to check the diagrams to make, it didn't look like anybody had been in there messing around, but I wasn't sure. So I decided to go check and see what I could learn specifically about the Nova 7s, because this is the pair I find the most interesting. All right, I went online, Audio Karma. There's a gentleman who published a hand-drawn diagram of his Nova 7s. And so I decided, all right, let's, anything in red on here is what I have, new to you speakers. This is an Allied. And by the way, the brand name on these is Allied. It is not Realistic. So I misspoke earlier when I said that. Still made by Tandy, but during that time period, and I believe these are from 1972, we'll find them on page 32 in the catalog. Actually, slide that over. This is model 40-5021. So the differences between what he has and what I have are shown in red. We come in, 47 is the same. I put wire colors, so I have yellow on the positive, black on the negative for the woofer. We go into a 20 ohm variable resistor on the control for that. He had a 6.8 microfarad. I have a 15 on mine. Down here, 3.3, that's what I have. 10 ohm variable resistor for the mid-range adjustment. White wire going into positive, black wire coming out of the mid-range. Then I have a black wire going to what I have as the positive. I believe he just mislabeled these on his 4 ohm tweeter drawing. I believe this is the correct wiring. Black going to negative. Sorry. Yeah, black going to negative, blue coming into the positive. I have blue coming into the positive. He had it marked as the output going into coming out of the mid-range going into the tweeter, but on the negative, but I think he had that just mislabeled. So the only difference between our two is the wiring here, and then he has a 6.8, I have a 15. So I'm going to pull the crossovers out. We'll take a look at that, and I think you'll be able to judge for yourself whether or not it's the original configuration or not. I did neglect to mention that both boxes were filled with these cubes of fiberglass, which are identical. So fairly confident they came through the same production factory. That's a good sign. Here's a close-up of the crossover. Looking at all the solder connections and the wires, it all looks original. I think we're going to get on with the work, and the work here is going to be change the 3 caps. Actually, we'll take some measurements on them first, see how they measure, and we'll get them changed out. Fix the case, which means refinish it, and we have one ding right here in this corner. It looks like it got bumped or dropped, so we'll try to tweak that up a little bit. All right, here's the corner that got bumped. We'll see if we can get these 2 pieces of veneer lifted up, square off the corner again, fill it, and then touch up a little. See how we do on that. And then Howard's over the rest of it. That's the only blemish on the whole case. So nice candidate. I forgot, we do have the redoping of the surround. It's not horrible, but I suspect it would benefit from being redoped. See if I can compare that to the other one here. You'll see that this one, the doping is still much more intact. It's sticky. It's tacky. I guess sticky is the right. It's glossy. It's tacky. I'm sure this one's much more airtight than this one. Optimus-1 back here. Nova 7's up here. All right, let's get on with the process here. I've gone into my stock, which I have caps in bulk over there, and I just pulled out what we need, 47, a 15, and a 3.3. We'll snip out the old ones. We'll solder in these new ones, and yes, I did listen to the speakers before I'm doing this. They sounded okay. I suspect these are higher grade caps. They get a little better. I didn't take a sound spectrum sweep though. I probably should have done that, but I did not. So actually I can do that on the other one before we tear into that. So let's give it a go. I'll come back when we're done. All right, here it is, all done, updated with replaced caps. I cleaned the pots on the variable resistors, so we'll get this back in and have a listen. All right, here's the two woofers from the Nova 7. I have the sealant dope from Vintage AR on eBay. Larry provides that. And trust me, I've tried to find other stuff that will work as well, but there isn't anything. So we're going to do a quick application here and let these dry, and then we'll put it all together. Probably do fast forward here. And make sure you shake it up. It'll go from clear to cloudy once you shake it. A little better close-up of that. You can see we've resaturated the cloth, and that's the goal. You can't have any air passing through your cloth, because then you don't have a sealed box. All right, we'll let that dry, and we'll put it all together, and then we'll do a sound check. So the first time around, I tried to do the outer vertical edge, and then the second time around I did the inner vertical edge. So yeah, does that mean we get a little bit more down in the trough? Probably. So be it. But you want to make sure you get good cover. All right, we'll set that aside. We'll get the other one. Let's talk for a minute about the dent here. This dent, the corner was kind of smushed in. So this face was rolled over towards the back. So what we've done is I've taken a blade and we've come in behind the veneer and lifted the original veneer back out, so it's no longer rounded over in this direction.
I realized
we brought
I forgot
it back out
to
where
repaired
it's
corner.
going to end up, and then
here's the corner that
we'll
wasn't
just do
damaged.
a fill on the back side here with
our built that
our
up
wax
to a
sticks,
corner.
as we've done
Color
in other
match isn't
videos.
perfect, but
and that way we'll end up with a sharp corner again.
And,
I just wanted to show you that
beautiful.
in case you
had
not. I don't think we've fixed chips before, but I don't think we had fixed a dent before, and that's the key. The key is you have to get the original veneer separated, and now you're going to have a gap, so you've got to fill it. And that's where the wax sticks work perfectly for that. I'll show it to you when it's done. You can go check out the other video I had where I do a wax stick repair. Okay, let's finish up the way we always like to. Little Cha-Cha Fontanez. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and please consider subscribing to New2 Speakers. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Here we go.